Hey everybody, John from Slash Bash coming at you with another Choosing Beggar Reddit video, where a particularly heartless choosing beggar demands to be paid money for having to share her free ride with a young cancer patient. Let's jump right in. Some backstory. This happened when I was studying at a university and living with my parents. Our village is located roughly an hour drive from a big city where most of our neighborhood work, including my mom, her nice friend in the IT department, and the choosing beggar. All employed by the same firm. There was a train to the city in the neighboring village, but it's a half an hour walk, so my mother would generally drive to work, and I'd tag along whenever our schedules allowed it. Around 2 months before the story takes place, the choosing beggar realized she could ride to work and back home with my mom, and my mother being a generous person, she agreed to that, demanding no payment, as it wasn't any major inconvenience for her, and she was aware the choosing beggar was doing a low-salary job and had young kids at home. The nice IT friend, let's call her Anne, who was always taking a train home, asked my mother a few days beforehand if she and her daughter could ride home with her on Friday, as her daughter was going to be released from just a routine checkup at the hospital in the city. She also offered to take an early leave so that they'd be ready by the car, but my mom said they'd just go to the hospital together, as it's only a 10-minute detour. Come Friday, and surprisingly, I finish my classes early and message my mom if I can tag along. My mom says yes, but at the same time, explains quickly Anne's situation, and that the car will be packed. No problem for me. 5 minutes to 5, I arrive at the parking and see the choosing beggar waiting already. This woman must never work till the end of the shift. She sees me and gets visibly annoyed, saying something along the lines of, "Oh, and now this car is going to become a public bus for annoying teenagers." I was in my 20s and rather quiet in the car. I pretend I heard nothing and just wait patiently. 10 minutes later, my mom arrives with Anne and we drive towards the hospital. The checkout must have been busy as we wait for about 20 minutes, but it's fine with me and mom as it's a special situation. However, the choosing beggar rants about waiting all the time, much to our annoyance. Anne finally shows and we quickly realize that it was by no means just a checkup. Anne's daughter looks very frail and thin, white face, bald head covered with a scarf, barely holding up, clearly just released from chemotherapy. I immediately get off the front seat and go out to grab the daughter's luggage from Anne to place in the trunk and let her take the front, as I don't feel comfortable having her crammed up on the back. The choosing beggar is rather a large woman, not like that's anything bad, but there was hardly any room on the back with her and Anne in my mom's city car. Anne quietly thanks me and we roll back home, in relative silence as the daughter fell asleep immediately. We go to Anne's home first, just on the way, and they start leaving quickly. Anne's daughter throws up the moment she wakes up, getting some puke on the car and quickly starts apologizing. We say we don't mind, and there it starts. Anne takes out her wallet and gets a bill that had exchanged for around $60 and insists on paying my mom for both the ride and cleaning the car, which my mom quickly declines. However, at the same moment, the choosing beggar reaches for the money. For a moment, everything is silent, and then the conversation goes like this. "I'll be taking it, thanks." "On what grounds?" "Well, we had to take this huge detour, and I'll be like 40 minutes late at home." "Well, you would be even later had you taken the train. It's none of your concern." "I don't take any trains home. I always ride this car, and I'm not just being late. This car has been ruined by Anne's daughter." "It's not even your car, and we don't mind." "I take it every day, so it's mine as well." "Bullcrap! It's my mom's car, and she decides what to do with it." Anyways, daughters puked here in my close proximity. I'm surely entitled to some damages. No, it's right. I'm so sorry. She grabs the $60, puts it in my mother's handbag, and proceeds to take another banknote around $25 and hands it to the choosing beggar, who quickly pockets the money. Heck, Anne, you shouldn't have given her a thing. She takes a ride with my mom daily and pays us nothing. Oh, I thought she's paying for the fuel. As she should have. It doesn't matter. I take this car every day and now I'm covered in some sick girl's vomit. What if my kids catch what she's sick with? Puke got nowhere near her. The daughter shouts in a very raspy voice, I have a brain tumor, it's not contagious. That somehow managed to shut the choosy beggar up. My mom got out, took the daughter's luggage, and walked Anne and her daughter home, slipping the banknote she was given to their mailbox on the way back. She says nothing and drives straight to the choosing beggar's home. She'd normally leave her at the crossroad nearby, and speaks for the first time in a while. I was driving you because it wasn't inconvenient for me, but it just became a large inconvenience. This partnership is done. I don't care if you take the train from now on, get your own car, or just quit your job. I will not be driving you anywhere unless you or your kids are dying. The $25 you were given for no reason should be enough for a week's worth of train tickets anyways. So enjoy. This car is mine and mine only, so get out now. After that, I hardly saw the choosing beggar at all. Hopefully, she's never coming back into the picture, and my mom drives to work with Anne now, who, even if nobody asks her to, pays for the fuel. Anne's daughter is in remission now, so she's doing much better if you're curious. Wow, I really wonder about some people. How is it possible to be so heartless and unfeeling? Leave a comment below if you have ever known a person like that last choosing beggar. I'd love to hear some of your experiences. My son deserves the fix for free. I run a computer fixing business in my high school. People come to me for all their electronics repairs because I only charge for parts and 10 to 15 pounds, depending on the job, for labor costs. One of my teachers even asked me to fix her laptop once. Anyway, into the part you want to see. I was fixing an iPhone SE at lunch, and this kid in the first year asked me how much it would cost for me to fix his gaming PC. I asked him what was wrong with it, and he said he got a virus and the chassis was broke. I then asked him which kind of case I would replace it with, and he said one that was 30 to 40 pounds. The Aero Cool Bolt Mini to be specific. I told him I would do it for 50 pounds. He said that it's too much and he would only pay me 10 pounds. I said I would fix the virus for that amount, but he shouted at me because it's just a stupid case. He stormed away and I blew it off and continued working on the phone. The next day, I was walking out of school when this lady who looked to be in her early 40s, she said, "Are you original poster?" I said, "Yeah, why?" "I'm EK's mother." I said, "Oh, are you asking about the repair?" I quoted him for 50 pounds, but if you buy the case from somewhere, I can do it for 15. She then said in the typical choosing beggar's whiny tone, "Well, you should do it for free because you were rude to him." I then told her that I only refused because I would have been losing money. That's when she erupts. "This is ridiculous. I shouldn't have to pay for that. You are his friend and should give him the fix for free." I interrupt her and say, "Listen, I'm not trying to be rude, but I'm not his friend. He just asked me about the repair and I told him the price. If you or him aren't happy with that, then you can find someone else to do it." She shouted that she was going to tell the school's headmaster that I was rude to a parent and that I'm running a business during school hours. although my headmaster already knew that I'd done repairs, and even lent me a screwdriver kit once. He would also believe me about the whole being rude thing, because he knows I don't cause trouble. Nothing much else happened afterwards. The headmaster asked me about it because she complained, and then I told him what happened. He fully understood because this lady was known to cause a fuss when she didn't get her way. Example, on parents' evening, she didn't book any appointments and shouted at the headmaster when there were no free slots. He told me that everything was fine and gave me a lollipop from the jar on his desk. So, everything worked out in the end. This has been John from Slash Bash. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed the video and want to see more of them, then please hit the subscribe button. We'd love for you to drop a like and share it with your friends, and we'll see you in the next one.